This woman by the name Linda is the most hardworking and capable employee in this company. But she has one problem. She is unpolished and socially awkward. Every day, she tries to be somewhere that clearly doesn't want her and eats lunch alone at her desk. Because of this, she is constantly overlooked and treated with little respect. Despite her competence and dedication, her efforts mostly go largely unnoticed. On this day, Donovan, a male coworker, approaches her and asks her for the completed files. Since she is the one who prepared the work, she thinks she is being included in the discussion, but he quickly takes the files and leaves without her, showing how invisible Linda has become in the workplace. However, for years now, the CEO, her boss, has quietly promised her a promotion to be a vice president, but he dies before fulfilling his promise. His son, Bradley, takes over as the president. On this day, as usual, Linda is eating her homemade tuna at her desk, but is interrupted by the arrival of the new president, Bradley. It is his first day at work, and everybody almost immediately stops what they are doing to greet him, eager to make a good impression. Linda's first meeting with Bradley is a disaster. She approaches him warm and hopeful. After all, she has to make a good impression on the new president. However, she is unaware she has a bit of tuna stuck on her lower lip. Bradley notices it instantly, and in that one small humiliating second, his opinion of her is already set in stone. An executive by the name of Franklin tries to advocate for her to Bradley, reminding him how important she is, but it doesn't matter. Bradley decides Linda doesn't have the right vibe and hands her promotion to Donovan, his old fraternity brother, a man who only did a fraction of the work, took all the credit, and has been in the company for only 6 months. When Linda finds out, she angrily marches into Bradley's office mid-meeting and demands an explanation. However, he doesn't soften. Instead, he tells her plainly that her habits are really bad and that he doesn't see her as someone who is ready for an executive position quite yet. He throws her one last chance. She has to join the team on a corporate trip to Bangkok and prove her worth there instead. Linda, with no other choice, takes it. Trying so hard not to break down, she picks up her car keys and heads home to prepare. The next day, she pulls herself together and joins the others on the flight to Bangkok. Linda, as usual, is diligent at work. Donovan pulls up her old audition tape for Survivor and shows the others. They start laughing and mocking her right in front of her, thinking she can't hear them over the headphones, but she hears every word. This embarrassing moment leaves her feeling isolated while the others laugh. Not long afterward, the aircraft flies into a severe storm. The turbulence becomes increasingly violent, shaking the cabin and alarming everyone on board. What initially seems like rough weather quickly turns into a life-threatening emergency when the aircraft suffers a catastrophic engine failure. The plane begins losing height quickly, and panic spreads through the cabin. Parts of the plane start breaking apart. Things become even more terrifying when the cabin suddenly loses pressure. A section of the plane tears open, creating powerful winds that pull objects toward the opening. During the chaos, Donovan attacks Linda and tries to take her seat. To defend herself, Linda grabs a fork and stabs him. He loses his grip, and the strong wind pulls him out of the plane. The damaged jet continues falling until it crashes into the ocean. When Linda wakes up, she finds herself inside the sunken plane and realizes they are stranded with almost nothing. She then realizes that she and Bradley are the only survivors as she finds him ashore, unconscious but alive.